My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Arake Galadirthan, the head of Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on by starting again as the Woodland Realm, or Thranduil's Realm. The elves in the north. Now obviously this is a continuation of the last campaign, but it's not necessarily a continuation, it's because, as I say, I'm starting again. That is because of the 10,000 subscriber arrival point. I wanted kind of everything to start at the same point. I don't know, it's a strange point to make, but I kind of wanted everything to be grouped together. Additionally, my Gondor save got corrupted, and so I kind of had to start again. And what was my other reasoning? Oh, I wanted them all on a single build. Single, unmodded build. Use that term annoyingly. So here we are with the Woodland Realm at number 1. Also, of course, last time the Woodland Realm did not go very well at all. It went particularly poorly, in fact. Astronomically poorly. We were defeated. Well, we weren't defeated, were we? We weren't defeated. But they hit us. Pretty hard. And of course Legolas died. So here we are starting again. Now, another thing that I just wanted to cover as we go through was the yes, Kingdom of Rohan was the sound problem. Now that is in a video, Angmar video or Gondor video, Cryo-Hellenic, you mentioned that the static sound was unbearable. And I listened to almost all of them back, and I listened to the Angmar one back. And the problem that I seem to be getting, I listened to it back on my headphones and my speakers. And on my speakers, there was no static noise whatsoever. Now, there are very good quality speakers, as I've said. There are a couple of £100. They were Bose speakers. They're very, very good. But I don't think that would really have that much of an impact, because I'm not a particular sound connoisseur, but I don't really hear the differences between speaker prices. But anyway, so the speakers, there was no static, but on my headphones there is. So what I am going to try to do is I will look into finding an alternative method of recording. There's no problem with my microphone or my headset. That again is a very good quality Sennheiser mic. But I think the issue might be coming from the connections, the microphone into the PC, the same problem I had on the last computer. On the last computer, when I used the headphone jacks, the 3.5mm jacks to plug in the headphone and the mic, there was horrible static. It was unbearable. But when I used this computer and I used the USB adapter that I have, the headphone static was back. The horrible, unbearable noise was back. And none of you ever heard it because I recorded the original, the first Age of Empires video I recorded on this new PC. I recorded that with the USB adapter, and it was horrible. It sounded like I was talking with like water in the back of my throat, like I was gurgling through my words. It was a nightmare. And oh, look at that. Only an average defeat. But he's gone to the right side of the river, so that's alright. So that was terrible. That was absolutely awful. So to get around that, I've plugged them in the headphone jacks, and with the headphone jacks, they sound alright. They're not too bad. So, oh, there's one of the new unit cards. Their axes are turned the other way around.
Elven warriors.
I'll take you to take those. No, I want the same units left here. Can you train anything else? No, you can't. You've got a long time before we get anything else. Ah, bugger.
Elven warriors.
No, we don't want too much.
Yes, my lord.
Where's Thranduil? Well, Thranduil will come round from that side. When he swings round, we'll send those in, because they can get there in one turn. And we'll besiege it. So anyway, the moral of the story is I'm going to look into getting a better USB adapter for the microphone and headset, so that maybe it will remove the static for headphone users, because I can't. That's just terrible, isn't it? I can't just omit. I'm just talking and nothing's making sense. I can't just go for a method that leaves half of the people that might listen to me listening to a crappy, staticky recording, and the other half having no problem whatsoever. So I will look into improving the situation. Okay, that can't go up any higher, but it's just got 2 of those. But I'll take 2 of those, and then you 2 can come out of there as well. And I want communal farming. Do I really need to do that there? No. We're going to go a bit economical before we even leave our castle. That's the plan here. And I'm trying, at the moment, I'm trying to map as much as I can with the generals. I want as much sight range as possible of my homeland. We do want to get out there pretty quickly. Although I would like those so that when we're ready, we can use the army there. But as soon as our army comes out, we're going to be losing money. Elves cost so much. Although the dwarves just asked for an alliance with me, which I think is that Baron Samdi, who came back, and I touted that it was amazing that he'd come back. Well, at the moment he's kind of already left again. He did some excellent work, but he's been AWOL for ages. And but something that he did do was fix all of the relationships, so that, as you might have noticed on my turn 1, I get an announcement saying about every evil nation has basically gone to war with every good nation. And that is part of his work. But I think also part of that, Dale, Thranduil and the dwarves now like each other an awful lot more. I think he's made it so that good nations are more likely to ally with one another as well. Which, don't get me wrong, is good. But I quite liked the fact that sometimes the dwarves and Thranduil's realm would fight each other. I thought it was a cool little, well, bug really. Well, no, it's not a bug. This is total war. That's the whole point of it. It's what might happen if the weird and strange goings-on do happen. I'm going to save up and I'm going to get the Valiant Council Hall because it makes everything so cheap. Can't get it in Torfilin, so stick with communal farming. Your units are about to arrive, so we're about to be losing money. And that fort's just too far away to utilise. Also, in honour of the last game, because Torvanshan really was the saviour of our realm, and basically the only hope we had at surviving, I'm going to rename Emun Nufuin to Torvanshan Pass, even though Torvanshan's not here. That man is arguably one of the best generals I've ever had. His victories, whilst being because elves are so OP, they were just astounding victories. So I'm going to commemorate him in the only way I know how, by naming places after him. Right, we got our money, but you two aren't actually free upkeep anyway, so out you come. We are making money, but we'll leave the other ones in there for now. Oh, look, there's the woodland caverns. That circle thing is something I tend to use for buildings that are like really unique, so that they stand out even more. And also because obviously you can't get a UI that looks like that for a woodland cavern, so to make them have some sort of UI, I just went for a classic circle.
We will need that one.
That's right, I'm going to put towers everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Your orders.
Have we got diplomacy with Dale? Yeah, we have. Right, should we go and sue for peace with the Orcs and the Misty Mountains?
Tomorrow's journey planned out.
They'll love it. They'll be all over peace. Now, I can also tell you that this is... I tried to start recording this about 20 minutes ago, and I had, again, the same problem whereby starting the game, ending turn, and the end turn was about a minute long. And I'm such a loss for what the problem is. I mean, the problem really is probably just that the game is now really quite old. And we have now added a certain amount of scripts that are just tipping it over the balance, which really bothers me, because the one thing I've always wanted DaC to have over Moss is short turn times.
Yes, my lord.
And whilst at the minute I'm living proof that the turn times are short, I mean, you're watching them all be about 11 seconds. But something keeps going wrong. I keep droning on about it, but
Take it for the elves.
something's going wrong, and I don't know what.
There they are. Destroy it. Follow me. Engage.
But after restarting the computer, deleting the map.rwm, running the game, running the other version of the build that I've got, then shutting the computer down, then turning the computer on and waiting for a couple of minutes, even though the computer itself actually turns on in about 10 to 15 seconds. Like, I can turn the computer on and I can be online in under 20 seconds. But I waited about a full minute and then loaded the game up, and then it seems to be fine. So I think there is, like, if you catch it too... I just don't know. I'm really stabbing in the dark. But I think if you do catch it too soon after turning it on, it might get caught up in like the running scripts. But because the computer is brand new, there are virtually no scripts that turn on at startup. I mean, I've checked, I've looked into it, and there's just nothing runs at the beginning. I have about 4 things that run at startup. It's outrageous. There's your first look at the new UI for version 1.1. To save myself from having to constantly rewrite that box down there, I've just got rid of it. Whereas you might remember that beforehand it used to actually say version 1.1, Divide and Conquer version 1.01. It was an absolute bugger to update because you had to like constantly redo that block of colour behind it. So in order to get around it, I've just removed it from there, and it says 1.1 on the loading screen and the splash screen, and that's enough in my opinion, you know. Now what I didn't count on here was the fact that our reinforcements were coming from the other side. So to get around that, I'm going to just run Thranduil round to the other side. He's an elite unit, so they'll be alright. But I think if we keep him on his own, he'll do damage, but he might take a lot of losses, and of course if Thranduil himself falls, then it's all over. So we're going to run over here. The enemy attacked us, and this has got the fixed working version of the pathfinding. But the sallying AI has always been really poor. It's always been really stupid. And that is evidenced here today, as you can see. But as we are moving to meet our forces up, we might as well take advantage of this hill. I am going to run everyone. It'll get them out of breath, but we're only up against pathetic human rabble. This will be the order that they go in as well. I apologise. Just last week before all the campaigns ended and started again, I swapped the Woodland Realm and Khazad-dûm Realm for no reason at all. I just accidentally played Khazad-dûm first. There was quite a large outcry on the Angmar video for people to say that, yes, please do start again, but instead of playing as Gondor, please play as Dol Amroth. And whilst I'd be open to that, I was really enjoying that Gondor campaign, and I was really looking forward to it starting again. And of course, I did also see the polls that you all placed on who was going to die first. I thought that was actually hilarious. And of course, when I checked it, 70 odd people had voted, and Herr Lewin was only third. So you all lost. Oh well, actually, a large chunk of you would have got your money had it been a betting thing. Right, we will lose a lot, but it doesn't matter too much, because we'll get the money back if we lose a lot. What I also wanted to say and stress, and I should have said it at the beginning, but I'll say it at the end as well, if I can remember, is the Steam group that we join, and I will put the link in the description for this one actually, but the Steam group that I've been using to play Age of Empires 2, that just reminds me actually, sorry, bear with me one moment. Everyone said that the speech was a bit too quiet, so I'll give you a bit more on that. Give you 10 more. The Steam group that we use to host the Age of Empires games, one of the officers in the group is called Aofroad, A-O-F-F-R-O-A-D. Don't ask me what his name means. I mean, I don't even know. I think I've asked him, and either the question went unanswered or I can't remember. But anyway, he's called Aofroad, and he has been also setting up parallel to the Age of Empires.
This is a clear victory.
333. Well done, Elven Kingsguard. Parallel to Age of Empires, he's been setting up Paradox grand strategy games. So Hearts of Iron 4, Europa Universalis 4, I think it's 4, Crusader Kings 2, and possibly Stellaris as well. But he's been setting these up, and they've been going off very, very well. But the Hearts of Iron 4, I've just said S for no reason. The Hearts of Iron 4 multiplayer event will be taking place very, very soon. That one hasn't started yet, if I can remember what he said rightly. And I'm absolutely more than willing to suggest you'll play it. Now, the little caveat here is I don't own it, so I won't be part of it. But that hasn't stopped it from flourishing, and Aofroad has been reporting back some good success and great numbers in that game. So, if you want to play Paradox Grand Strategy, you want to play in an arena whereby you're not going to get laughed away for being a noob, and it's just friendly and fun and inviting. I sound like I'm selling like a timeshare or something, don't I? But then please do join the Steam Brotherhood. I keep saying that. It's not called that. It's called the Brotherhood of the Swan, but it's the Steam group, and in shorthand we call it the Brotherhood. So it's become Steam Brotherhood. But do get involved. Do come and join in, and then you can play some Paradox Grand Strategy. Aofroad is the man to look out for that. He's one of the 3 officers alongside Grumpy Pirate and Knight of the North. So, it is generous. Yeah, right. Make demand. Single payment. Give me a grand. No, tell you, let's just really try and push it. Give me 4 grand for your. That's balanced. I'll take some trade rights, and we'll do map information as well. What are you saying? Yes.
That is all. Farewell, then.
So come and do get involved. Obviously, we're playing Age of Empires a lot at the moment, yes, but I'm also hoping to use the Steam group to branch out a little bit, particularly if you've got Gears of War. I mean, Gears of War obviously is on the Xbox app, so we've got to be Xbox friends. And I've got to pay £10 to change my Xbox Live gamer tag, which is annoying. But I'd really like to play some Horde mode of Gears of War with people I semi-know, like at least internet level know, rather than just dropping into the random matchups. So I'm looking to spread out and do some of that as well. And other games will crop up from time to time that we do play. There is a core group of gamers that have been playing in the group, and many of them have been setting up their own games outside of playing with me. And there is a real community feel being generated and starting to come from the group, and I'm really, really pleased. If we wait 2 turns, those mines will be cheaper. So we will do that. The problem, sorry, to totally change topic, the top problem with playing this campaign slowly is in the last one, many of you said how, haha, it's really funny you said that the Elves campaign was really easy and now you're almost losing. And what I would say to you is that if I go slowly like this, the Elf campaign really is easy. Like, unless I really go down and hit Dol Guldur hard, it's going to be a bit of a walk in the park. And that was part of the reason why I went so gung-ho last time, because
Yes,
I personally, it was entertaining to play, to be scrapping for my life, and hopefully it was entertaining to watch,
Without
whereas me just
question.
methodically
Stopping
claiming
here.
towns, waiting 10 turns, claiming a town, waiting 20 turns, claiming a town, waiting 30 turns, for example, I don't think that would be as enjoyable to watch. That's would be my opinion anyway, so that's why I went a bit gung-ho. But I also appreciate that I went too gung-ho and came really, really close to losing. Like, unbelievably close to losing. So, it is about trying to strike a balance. We're going to have to get the mines now, just in case. Because we're losing now 100 gold a turn. But then if I take that army out, leave behind the 114 of them, and head for Erin Thollen, we'll at least get the money from there.
Elves, we must give up the road.
But anyway, there's a load of thoughts down on the page. Now, what I would also say about the Steam group is when we play Age of Empires, it's often on a Friday evening British time. And I post an announcement to say that we're playing. Now, the only reason I'm making this point is because obviously I'm setting up at the moment the tournament for the 10k subscribers. And sidebar, if you haven't already seen, I have posted up the list of who is playing whom in the Steam group. So you can go on there now and find out who you're playing. You have got until the Sunday, whatever the Sunday coming is, the 23rd of October, something like that. You've got until Sunday at midnight, English time or European time essentially, to get your games played. And then, so that we can at least keep them to the round start. Ideally, I want the whole thing to take about 2.5 weeks-ish. But the first videos for it will start coming out probably toward the end of next week.
Have your weapons ready,
But there's a lot of people in the group. There are about 500 people in my Steam. That's really vain. In the Steam group. And when we play Age of Empires, we've been getting a few new people, but it is the same people almost every single week, which I'm grateful for. We're
Yes.
becoming. It's like many of them. I'm
Discuss.
becoming very friendly with many of them, and it's nice to be having people that you can talk to about games on a regular basis. But anyway, that's by the by. When we've arranged this tournament, a lot of people seem to have crept out of the woodwork who have never played the game with us before, and then suddenly they're here to play the tournament. And now I'm not saying that you people at like the boy who cried wolf, that's not what I mean, is it? What's the chicken who sowed the seeds? Is that even a parable? I don't know. Something I was taught at Sunday school before I abandoned the church. But so I'm not saying by any means like you're worse than all the others because you've not played any games, but it's just you must not be getting the messages, or maybe you're not free, or maybe you just don't want to play the games with us that we're playing. But we mostly play Age of Empires on a Friday evening, and I always post an announcement when I'm playing a game. But there are normally always people almost every night in the Steam chat. That's how we arrange the games, in the group chat. So if you join the group chat and there are people in there, you can ask to play any game that you want to play. It doesn't have to be Age of Empires. Age of Empires is just the game that I'm playing the most at the moment. And if you want to play with me, it'll likely be Age of Empires. But as I say, I am open to other games. There's no restrictions there.
Come, my brothers. Like the wind. Stay alert.
Only 2 turns till Torvention Pass gets mines. We are still losing money, but only just. And we'll claim Erin Tholin in 1 turn. I expect they'll rise up. They haven't taken Enethau, as they often don't do, but they are at Erin Runen. Although I suppose, actually, if I do go slowly and methodically, it will give Dol Guldur time to step up, and maybe there'll be even more of a challenge than I'm expecting.
Yes, my lord.
We'll see. We will see. Also, do tell me if the voice volume is now way too loud. I mean, the voice obviously is a minor one. They only say things every now and then, but I expect on the campaign map,
Yes, my lord.
people like Tuil al-Caron are probably now drowning me out. But I don't know. Right, head down to our brothers in Lorien.
Yes. Tomorrow's journey planned out.
Another end turn. I'm so pleased that the end turns have sped up again. I was so worried that we were going to have one of these types of campaigns. This video, of course, will go up tomorrow, which is Wednesday. You know, you're watching it today on Wednesday, but I recorded it yesterday on Tuesday. And there'll be a lore video for the 10k subscribers. We just got peace, you
The
bastards!
enemy is at our gates. To the defenses.
You just paid me 4,000 gold for peace,
protect the
only
elven
to
lands.
immediately attack me.
Claim it for the free peoples.
Idiots. Absolute idiots.
By the
Legolas,
light of
return
Ember.
home. We've got a job for you.
Scout the area. You will ruin the elves. Set up an ambush.
Ah, we are losing money. No, we're gaining it again now. We've got Tholin. Perfect. I can't even remember what I was talking about. I'm so incensed by the stupidity of the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. Ah, in 1 turn, that will be complete, which will give us cheaper buildings in our capital, and the mines will be complete, giving us an extra 300 gold. I was going to say florins, because the base game uses florins, and so it's always in my mind. But it's not, it's gold. It's just gold. Sorry, sniffing. You shouldn't sniff. Especially when you're on a microphone. I'm so amateur. I am such an amateur at this. That's why many of you, none of you maybe, Karascalathon as usual, are wondering why I changed the channel art to say the Everyman's Channel. Now, there's a little story behind this as well, actually, because I was going to call it the Layman's Channel. But my girlfriend, Little Blue Ferret, Jessica Tomlins, I've said her full name, surname and everything, she thought that people might not understand what layman's means.
Assail them.
To which I scorned this, and I said, of course they'll understand what layman's means. Everyone knows what layman's means. But then I thought, actually, hang on, does everyone know what layman's means? It's a term used in law a lot to denote someone that has no professional knowledge, so lay persons. But it also means someone who has nothing to do with the church. So a layman is normally, that's where the word originally came from. So a layman was someone who wasn't in a church role, I think. Like your parishioners would be laymen; they weren't churchmen. But it now denotes as well just someone who has no professional knowledge of a topic.
We must act and halt this turn of events.
And lay persons is often used in law to denote non-legal people. So I have come across it a lot of time in my studies. So to me, it's just a word I just know. But so we settled on everyman's because the point of it was, as many of you point out, I'm not really that great at these games. I have a very casual outlook towards the game playing, which I personally think is a large factor of why many of you find me enjoyable. Because it's easier to relate to someone who plays casually than high-click people who are just crazy. Like, trying to watch them can almost give you a headache. So that's the angle that I was going for in the channel art, in that it's a channel for like the everyman, the person who isn't the best at the game but isn't the worst at the game, solidly in the middle. And the best term for that, I think, is layman, because you're not professional at it, but you're not necessarily a complete idiot at it. But Little Blue Ferret suggested that people wouldn't understand what layman meant and that I should change it, so that's why I went to everyman's. But additionally, concerning the channel art, just while we wait for our army to get into position, I really, really like simplicity. I know I've banged on about this, but I'm going to bang on about it more. I love simple thumbnails, and I just love simplicity on YouTube in general. I hate it when the thumbnails have so much information that I just don't know what I'm looking at. I have to rely entirely on the video's title. And sometimes the video's title never doesn't tell you what it does.
From such tidings does victory emerge.
So I'm a massive fan of simplicity wherever I can get it, and that's why my thumbnails, for example, are really basic. I mean, there's a few little tricks and things in there that I've used that I know from modding and doing UI work on modding, but essentially they are just text with a picture in the middle on a black background, although I've changed it to a nice grey background. But they're basic, they're simple, and I wanted the channel art to match that, so that's why it is just writing on a black background. It's as simple as I can make it. Because I also think that visually then, that adds into what the channel is trying to go for. I'm trying to go for that more simple approach. It's not a professional thing, other than the modding, which of course obviously I know a great deal about modding, but I don't really talk about modding in the videos, so that doesn't particularly come into it. But anyway, so that's why everything's a bit simple, because that's my philosophy. And I've always done the YouTube videos in a way that I would want to enjoy them. So I've always done things that I think I would enjoy watching. And indeed I do. I watch so many of my own videos that YouTube has started to recommend my videos to me. Almost all the time that I'm watching YouTube videos, in the recommended bar, my own videos are listed. So clearly I've been watching too many of my own videos. But before you ask or worry, you can't artificially inflate your earnings or your view stats by watching your own videos. YouTube omits those stats. You can't earn any money watching your own videos, and views that you add to your own. If you watch your video too many times, YouTube then caps your views to work out how many times you've done it. It takes them off, and for a period of time, it will kind of just stall your video count, your view count at a single point. So for like a couple of days you'll be at 80 views, even if really you might have 1,000 views, and it's because YouTube is basically telling you off for watching your own video too much to try and inflate your watch statistics. But I don't watch my videos like 7 or 8 times. I just watch them once, and I do just watch them. That's all that is. Our spearmen have charged in. The pathetic goblin band. Oh, and we're shooting our own men, even though I told you to shoot the goblin infantry. Brilliant. There's Legolas, not yet dead. The Hinidawa, the archers with the highest archer attack
The battle
stat.
is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
But anyway, I've talked a lot, haven't I? We're 30 minutes in, I don't think I've shut up once. Change who
Only
you're going to
half
shoot
the
at and
enemy
get those
force
goblin band.
remains.
Would you like a little bit of information about Mirkwood? I can give you a little bit of information about Mirkwood. Mirkwood only became known as Mirkwood with the arrival of
Behold,
Sauron
our
in
cowardly
Dol
foe
Guldur
runs.
and the
It's time
black
to
power
press the
and
attack.
hatred that he sept through the southern side of the forest. And indeed, the elves of the Woodland Realm, who we are playing as,
victory we have won here today.
223, Hinidawa, no surprise. The elves of the Woodland Realm used to actually live in the southern parts of the forest. But they weren't beaten back through battles, they abandoned certain stages. They fled the shadow, the growing shadow. Which is arguably, potentially because the shadow creates kind of a horrible living situation. It is like an actual shadow hanging over you all the time. And they kind of fled from that, rather than from the direct threat itself. And eventually they came all the way back to Emun Nufu in the mountains of Mirkwood.
Follow me.
And then from there they then went even further north to Thranduil's Hall. So they didn't originally set up in Thranduil's Halls. They did originally set up down in the south near what was Amun Lank, the Naked Hill, which is now Dol Guldur. And about the time it becomes Dol Guldur, Mirkwood becomes Mirkwood.
My lord.
Now Mirkwood's name, or its non-evil name, is Erun Las Galan, or the Wood of Green Leaves. Which is quite literally what that means. Erun means is the plural of wood, Erun, and Las Galan means green leaves. Galan means green. Las, I think it's Las, or I think there's an extra letter in there that's been omitted to make it flow nicely. But Las means leaves, so it's wood of green leaves. If you are interested as well, in Sindarin the word of is added to a sentence through context. So if the context would suggest that the word of should be there, then it would be there. This is present in the door inscription of Moria, where it says Enun Durin, which means the doors of Durin, Enun Durin. And then it says Aran Moria, which means Lord of Moria, but it literally means Lord Moria. But because those two words are together, and to make a correct sentence they would be Lord of, the of becomes
Yes,
present.
my lord.
And that's how a lot of Sindarin works. An awful lot of
As you
Sindarin, in fact, actually. Sometimes
Something
even
here.
plural and non-plural is
Follow
just
me.
denoted by the context of the sentence.
Onward!
So some words, the spelling of some words can be both plural and not plural, which takes a lot to get your head around. Like, at least in languages in our world, we'd have there's always a plural form of a word, or there'll be something added to the sentence that denotes that there's a plural in that sentence. Sometimes in Sindarin, you've just got to listen to the sentence and realise if that's not plural, then that sentence doesn't make sense. Ergo, it's plural.
I'm gonna stick you!
Oh, Jesus, hold on, everyone. The bloody orcs are really getting too big for their boots.
Elves!
They're practically knocking on our
like the
door.
wind. We will need that one. Over here, elves!
Although it's a waste to leave all of those in there, isn't it? We'll leave behind those and we'll head for Erun Runen.
Come on! Sire, stay alert!
It's also a waste to leave all of those in there, but if I bring them out we'll lose money and I just can't afford to bring them out. Likewise, that unit we're training over there is going to not get free upkeep and is going to cost us. There we are. One extra unit we can afford. To continue the story about Mirkwood, after the War of the Ring, Galadriel destroys Dol Guldur, or during the War of the Ring, she, using the force, the last remnants of force with the power of her ring and just her elven power, she destroys Dol Guldur's walls by bringing it down with her own power, and she lays bare its pits. It's one of the last things that she does before she returns to Valinor, to her family, really.
Onward!
But then Celeborn stays in Middle-earth for some time. We're not actually sure when Celeborn leaves Middle-earth. He stays here for a long time.
Follow me.
And he
We must
and
get up the
Lothlorien then take over southern Mirkwood. And then all of southern Mirkwood from the east bight down, past Dol Guldur to the edges, the fringes, becomes known as Eastern Lorien. Which is a very unimaginative name, given how much Tolkien loves naming. Nomenclature. He loves names. He absolutely can't get enough of it. So just to call it Eastern Lorien seems like, I don't know, he was on the bog and he was planning how Mirkwood was going to end. So he just jotted that one down quick and then maybe didn't finish it before he passed on. That's all I can think. He was just in a hurry and thought, oh, Eastern Lorien for the moment, and then he just never got round to giving it a new name, because it really does stand out like a sore thumb. Every single place name in Middle-earth has almost all of them are Sindarin, and they've all got a root, they've all got a meaning, they all come from somewhere. Because obviously he was a professor of languages, he loved languages, all of his languages are built from the ground up as actual
Keep
languages.
them off balance.
I've said this a few times, but like in Skyrim, for example, they created the Dragon Tongue.
Stay alert.
But the Dragon Tongue is just word for word replacement. So like there's a word for there's a word for of, there's a word for cow, there's a word for dragon, and you just literally replace the English with the Dova, with the Dragon Tongue, or whatever the Dragon Tongue is called. I don't know. Dova just means dragon, doesn't it? But in Sindarin, he's created the languages as if they came from somewhere, and then they've mutated through time, and then here we have what they sound like. So, for example, this is most prevalent, really, with nations like Rohan and Dale and Anduin, who all share a common heritage, but their peoples have changed as they've gone along. Much in the same way like the Anglo-Saxons, who come from the Angles and the Saxons, they each had their own way of talking, and they've combined together to give us Anglo-Saxon. It's that kind of thing. It's that growth, that maturity of language, Tolkien does create, and he expresses through his studies and through the Lord of the Rings as you read through it.
Engage!
So to have a region that's just called Eastern Lorien seems to me like it's an unfinished name, is the moral of that long story. Anyway, Captain Gorluck is trespassing into the forest.
Send them back to their
Now this is a turn up for the books, because the Misty Mountains, I've played the Woodland Realm quite a few times in my own time, in testing campaigns, and of course in the campaign I played last time. And in all of those campaigns, the Misty Mountains never attacked me as the Woodland Realm. Never. So for them to be so aggressive now, obviously Baron Samdi's work has really come to fruition. And he's achieved exactly what he hoped to achieve. Our archers are firing, which is good. We attack them, but because we've got superior archers. Don't shoot the goblin band. The melee can deal with them. Shoot the snagger skirmishes. Oh dear, they had to go a lot further forward. Look at the range difference between them. Yeah, let that send them running away because of their skirmish feature. Killed a good 27% before we've even really met them.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will
The
be
snagger
ours.
skirmishers aren't particularly good, but there's enough of them that their javelins can be a bit of a problem. Shoot point blank into those goblin infantry. Oh, the goblin infantry aren't bothering us anymore. Go back for the snaggers. Is that elven spearmen? Spears ready! Well, I'm pleased that the Misty Mountains are aggressive because it adds another aspect to the campaign, which is essentially a repeat of the last one. Sorry, just having a drink. Arrows away! Wednesday tomorrow. I am over halfway through my 6-day holiday now. Although that 6 days included the 2 days of the weekend. How many are still there? There's a lot of those ones left. Now we can speed this up, can't we? The skirmishers are trying to get closer, but they can't because of those. They are trying to shoot javelins at them. But they can't get past these because their skirmish feature is sending them running away. So it's just leading to them just running around in circles. Which is brilliant, to be honest. The longer we can keep them buggering about over there, the better. Although they're done now, so try not to get involved. I'd rather lose melee troops than I would archers. Legolas just doesn't quit, does he? He just keeps going and going and going and going. Right, you're going to have to take the brunt of their javelin throws, I'm afraid. Because we... Oh no, we can catch them. We're elves, of course. Of course. We are elves. How has one of him died? Oh, bugger! I didn't even notice.
The enemy army
Oh,
feels
it's
the
all
fate.
over.
Our foe is utterly
Perfect timing,
vanquished.
really.
Let all who remember this
look
day
at those kill stats.
remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
Ba-bum, 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 ba-ba, ba-da-bum. 383 for the Hinnidawa, the Eyes of the Forest. The other two very close together there. The elves of the woodland realm know no fear. I suppose the reason this used to have Divide and Conquer version 1.01 in it was because once you get past the main menu, you never actually see either of the loading screens ever again. So, but then that's enough, isn't it? To be told that you've got 1.1 when you load the game up, that's enough.
We must defend these
Legolas is having to perform guard duty at the moment,
Onward!
which is
By the light of Elbereth, sire, I'm gonna.
well, we're going to have to play this very differently, aren't we? I can't just leave the northwestern side to be unsecured now. Not with this threat. We're going to have to press out, aren't we? We're going to have to show the Misty Mountains that messing with the elves is not a wise
Come, my brother.
life choice.
Stay alert.
Ah, we're losing money again. But I put those units in there. Cut me some slack, G.
Follow me.
Oh, they've got a general. Oh, it's alright. That army's pretty good on its own,
my
actually.
lord. Sire, orders completed.
Thranduil will take quite a time to get there. I wonder if our buddies have made it to Lothlorien yet, so we can get peace and an alliance. Somebody did request that I skip all of the Khazad-dûm marching section, so the segment where you go from Dale to Khazad-dûm. Someone suggested I skip all of that.
By the light of Elbereth! Like the wind! Stay alert!
But sorry, that was a massive gap, wasn't it? I don't think I will, I'm afraid. I'm probably
My
also going to go the way that I didn't go last time.
Approaching their
So I'm going to
dignitary.
go round the
I shall
edge.
continue
and go
tomorrow.
the Bjorning's way.
Come, my brother! Have a taste of my
What are you doing trying to get through our lands?
Elves! Take it for the elves!
Prince Legolas, deal with this threat once again, please.
Put an end to this evil!
We don't have any melee troops this time. We're going to... Oh, I should have just picked them out of the town just for this battle. Idiot.
Our foes appear to be gaining the upper hand in this battle.
Are there any hills? No, not really, but it doesn't really matter, we're elves. Ah, they're running away. Ah, of course we attack them. Very foolish to run away when your enemy is just archer units. Very foolish indeed. Legolas is just out of range there. Why have I put them in this formation as well? It's not actually useful when we're not up against archers. Get a jog on, lads. Begin firing. Oh yeah, look, they don't take it long, do they? They really do not take it for very long before they start their assault. Legolas, you change up and start shooting those ones. You've killed a great deal of those before they reached us, which is good. The closer you get as well, the more accurate your units become, which is always very useful. Now, I know Legolas replenishes, but also his archers are so much better than the other ones that their attacks into the flanks will do a lot more damage.
Only half the enemy force
Also,
remains.
the elves are so good that even their archers in melee are, and just know they're going to easily handle these goblin infantry, basically.
For the moment, the fortune of battle goes our way. Let's pray it remains as such.
Are they trying to push through to get to us? They are, fools. Now they're running a bit further around. Every time they run back and forth, we can get shots off on them. Probably shot some of our own elves in the back as well, which is a shame. Oh, it's all over.
Behold how the enemy
27.
are
We only lost
utterly
27. Killed
vanquished. This is a
638.
great victory, worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
Legolas has currently got 3 golden arrows hanging from his standard. He's got so many kills. So many kills. I like this border skirmishing though, because this is exactly how the elves would have actually lived. They didn't let anything get near their realm, and they would kill it without getting any prisoners out. So if orcs ever trespassed into Lothlorien or Mirkwood, they were killed.
Yes, my lord.
And no prisoners escaped to
Stopping
tell the
here.
tale. And that's essentially what we're doing, isn't it? We're just
By the light of
monitoring the
Elbereth.
borders and making sure they don't come at us.
My lord. Approaching.
Oh, hello, Captain
I'm
Lugduff.
gonna stick you.
That explains why we had such
I shall
trouble
continue.
in the last game. They must have they've got the region out here. So that's where I was hoping Dale might step in, but Dale don't seem to be even bothered by them. Are you even at war with them? Yeah, look, you're at war with every evil nation, so... See, I'm not that sold on that, actually. I like them to hate evil nations, but I don't like the fact that he's set it so that every evil nation is at war with every good nation. I liked it that sometimes evil nations and good nations, or good nations, would go to war against each other.
Onward. Orders
Now,
complete.
I may well be in a minority, I appreciate that, but I did think that it was cool that sometimes there was the capacity for some things to go wrong. I don't know, I liked it, I did like it. We will get land clearance there. And we'll chuck the whole of Song in. Oh, we're not making enough actually. But that chance, that minor chance that good nations might fight other good nations is now completely gone. Completely gone. Because every good nation is is... But then I don't know, it's a twisted one, because it does now mean that some nations that may before not have fought each other, but just because they weren't enemies at the start and they never became enemies, they may now get involved a bit more. I'm fairly certain that Dale don't start at war with Dol Guldur in the previous versions, so them starting at war with them now means that they might actually go down there and get involved. They might take Bur Alj. They might take the one that's down here. I mean, there's Bur Southis down here, but I'm pretty sure there's another one here. Can't remember.
Come, my brothers.
So we'll see. Time will tell.
Scout the area. We will need that one.
Woodland warriors. Look at them. Look at them.
Have a taste of my blade.
They're coming back for more.
Follow me.
Gluttons for punishment.
Over here, elves.
Legolas,
At ease.
shadow them in the trees. They won't do anything though, because Torfilin is now... Torfilin also gets a garrison, I'm fairly certain. I'm pretty sure Thranduil's Halls, Torfilin and Dol Guldur are the three locations that... Oh, and Karas Galathon. And by extension then probably the one that's here as well. I can't remember what it's called. Kerin Amroth, I think. I'm pretty sure they all get garrisons.
Like the wind.
Oh, that built its land clearance. Oh, brilliant. We're making like a good little sum at the moment. A tidy little sum. How much money are we going to get? 977. Are you building anything? No, you're not. But that has a bit of income. Oh, it's all kicking off. Retreat to Thranduil.
We're doomed.
Yes. Oh, look, there's more Dol Guldur coming up the
Back to
Akel
the
doing.
encampment. Follow me.
Now, what do we do? Do we attack
I'm gonna
Shagooth?
stick you.
Following factions at war with each other. Gondor and Dol Amroth at war with again everyone. But Gondor and Mirkwood have declared a truce. Torfilin got its leather tanner. And we can't build our market there yet. Erin Tholen doesn't have anything else to build anyway. We can get a Hall of Song. I'll go for the Hall of Song over the market actually. Because if we then get a town guard, we'll get free upkeep from those.
By the light of Elbereth.
I'd also, if you could pull those men back, that'd be brilliant. Get them out. And look, they've got a unit standing on our watchtower, which is annoying.
Follow me.
I've got a dark patch there as well, which
Like
I don't
the
like.
wind.
Legolas can go and get rid of that because the orcs
We
have
must
disappeared.
give up the road.
Do we attack
Come, my
Shagooth? Have we got
brothers.
enough to attack
Have a
Shagooth?
taste of my blade.
I think we'd probably be alright. Cool out the defences there. He's
I'm
got two
gonna
generals with him.
stick you.
It's just whether or not we've got enough archers. I don't know, but it would be a solid victory killing 3 Dol Guldur generals. I don't think we've got enough. I think we're too
Have a taste
outmatched.
of my blade.
No, I don't know. Orc raiders.
I'm gonna stick you.
Don't forget, Thranduil is a boss, an absolute boss. His bodyguard unit is insanely powerful. Yeah, we'll give it a whirl.
Assail them.
Oh, there's
I'm
some in the
gonna
trees.
stick you.
If we attack them, do they all join together? He's got 2 sets of archers, some Guldur host, Mirkwood stalkers, and 2 generals. Most of our archers would be wasted on those ones, though. No. I'm not going to chance it. I'm going to pull back and wait till Legolas comes down. But we can't do that just yet, so we're going to have to end turn.
Your orders. Approaching their dignitary.
Oh, there isn't a town there. There's a fort there, though. I'm fairly certain that's the fort that Lyron, the seer, the Farseer, begins in. He's the Wraith General for Dol Guldur. Nope. Oh, they have
Follow me.
parted ways. But they've headed into the forest. Ah, but
Have a
he's on his
taste
own
of my
now.
blade.
I think we can take him on
Come,
his
my
own.
brothers. Onward. Stay in the trees. We will need that one.
Got a tower on the mountainside,
me.
which is good.
Over here, elves. At ease.
Maybe they're moving on Erin Tholen. Jammy bastards. Oh yeah, go on then. Go on, Thranduil.
Sire, scatter them.
To end the episode, we shall fight against Shagooth. We hope.
Fight to the
Well,
end.
we'll fight against them. There's no hoping about that, but we hope we'll win. Start deployment. Okay, we're attacking him. We'll use that formation because he has got archers. You don't need to use that formation because you outrange his archers. Is he going to come to us? No, of course not. He's going to retreat to the hill behind him. He's going to use the cover of the trees as well. But if we just rain fire down on him, it shouldn't matter if he goes behind the trees. Oh, look at the road. There's the road. Because he should come for us once we start shooting him. Not every unit can hide. The general can never hide, so... no choice but to close in and shoot the general. Ah, no, we're in range of their archers. Oh, but it's okay, they're sending their Doguldur archers down the hill. Idiots. The trees do give you cover, but they don't give you great cover. Oh dear, they're actually matching us. Right, ignore the archers then. The archers aren't a threat. Oh, they go for our javelin men. Oh, they're already out of arrows.
The battle is
Chase
very
down
much
his
in our
archers.
favour. Victory will be ours.
Charge in.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Go for them there. Oh, they've got the archers. Good. This is going to cost us a lot. The Elven King's Guard are really strong. Although they have lost 18 men. How have they lost 18 men? Oh, look, there he is. 2 swords.
Our men have
Good
slain
lord.
the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
Made me jump. I haven't put your videos onto an USB yet. I don't even have them for you. Sorry everyone, I'm talking to Little Blue Ferret who's just invaded my room. Invaded! She shook her head at me. Ah, the Doguldur archers are running. Thranduil, have you got arrows again? Yes. Where's the bodyguard? Where is the bodyguard? I thought there was 2 generals in this army. Oh, we're going to win, but we're going to lose a lot. Nearly 50%. I'm sure there were 2 generals. He must have just separated them off, mustn't he?
Behold how our cowardly foe runs.
Oh no, you're
It's
not
time
getting
to press
away.
the attack.
You are not getting away. Come on. Beat him to the border. Beat him to the border. Come on, you buggers. You're much faster than orcs. Yes, 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 yes. Chase him, chase him. Stop shooting. Did you get him? Did you get him? They must have done. Was that actually even the
The
general?
enemy are utterly vanquished.
Yeah, where were...
This is a great victory, worthy
Ah,
only
there you
the
go.
mightiest of generals.
There were 2 generals. We just killed the first one. Oh, I didn't realise that. 301. Woodland Scouts got the most kills this time. It was a heroic victory. We lost a lot, but that was a very strong victory. 2 generals roaming around our village of Erin Thollen. Can't have that. So it certainly seems like if you give Dol Guldur time, they're just as strong as if you rush them.
We must defend these lands.
Merged
By the
together.
light of Elbereth.
I'm using the wrong button. 28 of you return to Erin Thollen.
Onward. Elves, stay in
You go back to Erin Runen.
Orders completed. Follow me.
Legolas is on his
Stay
way. Our diplomat on his way. That was very
My
nasal,
lord.
wasn't it?
What is it you wish to discuss?
Alliance, trade rights. I'll give you map information.
It's good to see we could reach an agreement.
Well, that seemed fruitful. Farewell.
500 gold coins for that. Once that's built, we'll get a barracks there. Of course, we have got this army waiting, ready. 2 free upkeep from that, 2 free upkeep from that, 4 from that. That's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 on the next turn. We can have a whole army in Torfilin and not worry about it. Oh, we can pull you out as well, actually. You'll become our 8
Elves.
then.
Yes, my lord.
Let's pull the
Elves,
Woodland Warrior there.
Yes, my lord.
come on. Be vigilant. Elves.
And then we got that army ready if
By the light
crap
of
really
Elbereth.
does hit the fan.
For the light.
I think
my
Thranduil's
brothers.
got enough at the moment. Expansion Pass got roads, yay. But I think I will end it there. I will leave that as our turn, our final turn.
Approaching quietly.
So I do hope you've enjoyed this. I will try and see what I can do about the sound for those using headsets. I'll look into getting a better USB adapter or just see if I can make mine work if I plug it into a different USB slot. And stay tuned tomorrow for the lore video for 10k subscribers, and then after that Khazad-dûm and Stainless Steel, which of course hasn't started again. But it is only on this will be episode 7, so it's close enough. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navar Naden Perimad Melonin, Berio I Refen and Aliflen, and Quiomai and farewell.